Welcome back, everyone, to Open Mic. I'm Mike Mooney here, the marketing chair for NSA Carolinas. And this is the series that's dedicated to sharing business building news and voices to do exactly that, to help you build your business as a professional speaker. And it is an absolute pleasure to have Cecilia Gorman joining us today. She's going to be telling us about her program that's going to be coming up on October 17th. And give you a little bit of background. Well, first off, Cecilia, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. Here I am wanting to jump right into the business here. And where are my hosting skills? I apologize, but thank you so much. I know that you're on the road, so taking time to join us, thank you so much. But folks, let me give you a little bit of background on Cecilia. She's one of Southern California's premier management trainers. She's a former advertising pro turned consultant who specializes in helping leaders in fast-paced, high-volume creative environments grow their skills and confidence to better communicate as leaders and with their teams. Cecilia also owns Creative Talent Partners, a training consultancy that's focused on manager development. She's a co-founder of Empowership, which I love that name, by the way. That is awesome. Empowership, which is a remote access annual women's training program. And she recently started coaching online course creators, which is just so relevant in today's world, isn't it? And they're looking, this is for people who are looking to really turbocharge their revenue through corporate training online. She's also a certified John C. Maxwell team trainer, meaning her work is supported by one of the training industry's top gurus. And her signature program is Manager Bootcamp. And this is cool. It's a 4-week digital course. And we are just so excited to have her today. Cecilia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. So excited to have this conversation, Mike. Thanks for being a great host.
Oh man, no, this is great. This is wonderful. So we're going to have you virtually on with NSA Carolinas on Saturday, October 17th, which I will say on the front end that is free for chapter members and only $20 for non-members. This one of the programs we're putting forth this year for our membership is that we're making our programs free. But your conversation that you're going to have was a really important one, I believe. The title is Crafting a Seamless and Referable Client Experience. And I can't think of something that's more important right now for speakers to be thinking about in their holistic approach to their business.
Absolutely. I'm trying to put a bit more intentionality into what's going on, because I think we've just been swirling in this world of chaos for the last 6 months. So it's like, okay, let's focus what's going on with the business and just bring a little intention into it.
Yeah, I love that. And especially as it relates to customers, their experience and referrals. I mean, if you think about 65% of all new business comes from referrals, this couldn't be a more important topic right now. So if you could, like, before we get into really like what that program's going to be and what our members are going to get out of it and how we're going to grow and go, maybe can you tell us a little bit about your career journey and how you got to where you are right now and the work that you're doing?
Yeah. So as you mentioned when you introduced me, my career has been in advertising. So in Southern California, I've lived there my whole life. And I had my job, which was in creative services. I loved being in a creative environment, but part of me also loved coaching people, loved mentoring people. And it was just this thing that I kind of did on the side. People would gravitate to me to ask questions. Oh, I'm having problems with my boss, or, hey, I want to ask for a promotion, but it wasn't my official job. And so fast forward 15 or 20 years of that, I just loved that part of my job. I did a lot of recruiting. So I would go out and speak at colleges, trying to get kids interested in a career in advertising. And once I had that microphone in my hand, I was like, okay, how
Game
can
on.
I do this for a living?
Right.
So ultimately, I landed a job in an ad agency that was officially a training and development role. That's when I got certified on the John Maxwell team. And I found my way to be inspired to be out on my own. I never thought I would be an entrepreneur, but I took this love of teaching and training, and I launched my business now almost exactly 5 years ago.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
That is great. And it's always scary, that first step, that first leap, to get out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then some. I mean, you still get that little bit of anxiety, like, I'm responsible. I'm the one running the business.
The customer experience is so important. So oftentimes, speakers get into the business because they're excited to speak. Like you say, I got a microphone, I have a message, I have something I want to say, and people seem to really like it. But there's so much more, as you know, to the business than just booking the gig, getting up there and delivering the message, right? So can you tell us, like, what will our members experience on the 17th with you during your program?
Well, I think what's going to happen is we're going to take that word intentional, which I mentioned at the
Yeah,
beginning, and then we're going to take that fact that you threw out, which is 65% of our business is by referral, and we're going to kind of mesh those two things together. We're going to say,
right on.
how can I make the experience of my work? So whatever that looks like for people on the call, I'm going to
Mhm.
use the example of an online course to walk people through my lesson, but it really is applicable to if you're doing speaking, if you're doing training, if you have already created an online course. What does that experience of you look
Mm,
and feel like at every step of the way? And so I know that maybe we somewhat think about it, or after the fact, maybe we'll send a survey where we're kind of doing it. But what I want to talk about is, how do we have a system that we're intentional, so that the feeling of working with me or working with Mike, like the client remembers that. And
mm,
so we want to stand out, we want to be impactful, but we want to have that referral.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
I have really put work into my online class of, what does that experience feel like, even before the client, has me invoice them, even before the client has made that purchase decision, all the way through to the end, and we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that any speaker, any trainer, wherever they are in their business, can be a bit more intentional about, what does it feel like to
Yeah.
have booked me?
Mm. I love that. I love the word intentional, without a doubt. And the other word that jumps out to me as I'm hearing you speak on this, Cecilia, is the word consistency, right? We're creating a system. How often do we feel like, especially speakers who are early on in their career, or maybe in the mid stage of growth, where uh, you feel like each time you're having to reinvent the wheel
Yeah.
of what that is and what it could be. And I love that you're really making it about the person, which I'd imagine can be kind of difficult too, in a way, right? Because that's going to force the individual to have to think about, so what is it about my brand that I want to stand out, that I want to stand up and represent me through, like you said, pre-purchase all the way through, we want you back again.
You're right, exactly. Like the memory of me. What
Yeah.
is that memory of me going to be? And I wanted it
Yeah.
to be something simple. And the people who come on will understand afterwards, but it's this framework that can be applied to anything that you're selling. So like I said, I use
Mhm.
my course as the example, but it really is, what are those touch points at the 3 stages, before, during, and after? And then I want people to look at that through the lens of their own business and their own
Yeah.
content, and say, huh, that's interesting. What do I do that fulfills that? Or, huh, that's interesting. Huh, maybe I can use that, or I can tweak that and put that into play.
Yeah.
So we can't say how every person might use it, but I think it is universally applicable to folks that are in content creation.
Yeah, well, again, creation, right? Creators of message, creators of experience, and content. I absolutely love that. So, if and I plan to be there, so you can say you're talking to me right now. How should I prepare? Right now, it's not all about me. Okay, let me rephrase that. How should our members
Okay.
prepare for the event so that they have just a great experience with you, which I'm sure they will, because your energy is just awesome. But how can they prepare to really take advantage of and make the most of this time that they can help take their business to the next level?
Yep. So here's what I'm going to ask people to do, is to just do, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes of thinking about their business in 3 stages, before my client buys something from me, while we're interacting in the during stage. So either I'm preparing to go speak, or I'm doing an online training, or we're actually doing the work. And then what does it look like when we're done? And I want them to pre-think about, what do I actually do at those stages? Because some people will be like, oh, it's great, I do this at the beginning, and then I do this at the end, and then when they're done, they get sent this. Some people may have their system already laid out.
Yeah.
Some people might be, well, I do something at the end, but maybe I'm a little light in the other two. Because I think once you know where you are, then you can see the space to grow. So just to have that in mind, like if you had to give yourself a grade, you know, I'm really good at the before, but I kind of suck at the after, maybe not so good at the during. Like just bring that into mind. Nothing more than just thinking on that for a few minutes. And like I said, once people see the framework, it'll be easier for them to go, okay, now how does that apply to what I'm doing?
Yeah, kind of almost like a plug and play at that point of here's what I have, it fits here. Here's what I have, well, I can sand it a little bit here and plug it in there. And
Exactly. So you can take what I have and say, oh, that's interesting. And then what does that spark? Like what thought does that spark in you for the type of clients you're selling to or the particular industry that you're in?
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Well, Cecilia, we're thrilled that you're going to be joining us on, again, October 17th is the date. You can check out more at the nsacarolinas.org website or on our Facebook page or LinkedIn as well about the date and registration. Again, free for NSA Carolina chapter members, $20 if you're a non-member. Which is also incentive to become a member, get these access to these great programs that are going to help you take your speaking business to the next level, empower you, equip you, inspire you, and motivate you to be the best that you can be. So, Cecilia, thanks again for joining us. Safe travels to you on the road, okay?
Okay, and we'll see you guys on the 17th.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, everyone. This is Open Mic, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.